Hello, welcome to our live stream. I see Yuki, the cheer there, popped up right on time. Thank you very much for making it today. And let me pop up my handle here. So if you want to follow my account, here I am, English with Jen 123. I am here every Tuesday, usually a little earlier than now, but with a quiz. And our topic this week is age, and these quizzes are designed for people who would like to practice their English. This is not a classic classroom sort of setting. This is more us just sort of learning facts together, sharing information, practicing new vocabulary words, and learning a thing or two that we can keep or not keep in our heads for forever. So welcome. I see we've already got 8 people here. That's pretty cool. And I'll turn off this little banner thing, English with Jen 123, and let's go for our first question of the day. And let me move this here, and ta-da! Look at that. So our topic, like I said, is age. So by 2030, approximately how many people in the world will be aged 60 or older? Would you say 1 in 10, 1 in 6, 1 in 4, or 1 in 8? Hello, the fun time. Hello to you, Alex, darling. Hello, Lorena. Hello, everyone who's able to make it. And what is your guess here? By 2030, so only 5 years, approximately how many people in the world will be aged 60 or older? I am happy to say I won't be one of them, not yet, but nearly. So what about, let's see. So Alex is saying C, 1 in 4. Is our world as a whole getting older? What would you say? 1 in 4. Okay, Renit's going with that. Hello, Renit. Hi, Natalia, dear. It's nice to have you back regularly. Wonderful. C, we have a B. Michaela's guessing with 1 in 4 or 1 in 6. Okay, so kind of betting both of them. We have a C and we have another C. So for those of you who guessed C, which is a lot of you, you are wrong. Sorry. Hey, David, welcome to you too. It's actually 1 in 6. Go with David. He knows his stuff. 1 in 6 people will be over the age of 60 by 2030. So our population on the planet as a whole is getting older. Let's move on to retirement, to a retirement age. And let's see what I've got for you here and see what you have to say. With some of these, I have extra information and some not. This next one I do. And so let's see what we've got. Hello to you. Nice to see you. You've not been around in a while, Kalua. All right. So in which country can people retire as early as 55? Is it A, Sri Lanka, B, Japan, C, Norway, and D, Sweden? And I just realized I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing this country correctly because I might be mispronouncing it. It might be one of those that I mix up. So pronunciation, and we'll ask the bot, pronunciation of, I think it's Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. Let's see. In English. All right, let's see. Norway. Okay, so Norway, we have Sweden, we have B, Japan. Let's see. Okay, so in English, you can say Sri Lanka or Sri Lanka. So potato, Sri Lanka or Sri Lanka, both are widely accepted. All right. So the answer is actually, for those of you, oops, I've lost my start here. For those of you who guessed A, Sri Lanka, then you are really, yes, 55, exactly, Alessio. So this is one of those things where I was like, okay, 55, there's a catch. And there is a catch. In Argentina, teachers retire at the age of 54. I think that's a good age to retire as a teacher, to be quite honest. It is such a demanding job. In Italy, 62, 63. Okay, so like we have this wonderful idiom in English, all that glitters is not gold. All right, so in Sri Lanka, I'm kind of mixing it up. Sri Lanka. People retire at the age of 55, but what do you think the reason is? There is a reason why it's so early. I had to Google it because I was like, okay, I'm packing my bags. I'm heading to Sri Lanka, and in 2 years, woohoo! In Japan, it's 60 to 65. Okay. So, what can you tell me? Why do you think that people in Sri Lanka can retire so early? What do you think the reason is? What do you think that the reason might be? 67 if you don't have 42 years of contribution. Okay, so if you worked in the workforce for 67 years, then you have to retire at no, sorry. You can retire at 67 if you haven't worked for 42 years. Otherwise, it's 62 to 63. Unless he's like, in Italy, 63? Sounds strange. Okay, not believing it. But in Sri Lanka, you can retire much earlier than in many places in the world, Gracie, because they are not because they don't work so much. Okay, good answer, logical answer. But the thing is, lower life expectancy. Exactly, Lorena. Ding, 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 ding. So, like I said, all that glitters is not gold. They have lower life expectancy there, poor because of life quality. Depends on how many years you contribute. Okay, exactly. So they have a lower life expectancy. And what else? And a lot of the jobs that they have in that country are physically demanding. So maybe they're building things, they're on construction sites, and they work in a factory or in farming. So they have lower life expectancies. They work manual labor. When you work with your hands, that's manual labor. And what else? Their labor market, somebody said there are not enough jobs, maybe. So that's another factor. And also in many Asian cultures, it is expected that children take care of their parents when they retire. So it's a lot of different reasons why people retire so early. In Moldova, 63. Okay. And yeah, and they do this also to reduce unemployment. And this, I found another thing. Okay, so as an extra little something here, I found that in Denmark, they have just raised the pension, the retirement age. They've raised it to 70. And so if you go to Denmark and you live in Denmark and you were born after December 31st, 1970, you have to work until you're 70 years old. And that's the highest rate of retirement, the highest age for retirement in the world, 70. In Serbia, women goes into retirement at 63 and men 65. Peru, 65. Is this Gracie, the Gracie who just showed excellent speech skills on Ewa Live? It absolutely is. Come on, let's highlight her. Exactly, Yuki, our Gracie just went live with me, and she's so amazing. I love that. All right. It is generally, oops, hold on, I just lost. It's general rules for all. Like in the oil industry, they retire early because it's a physically demanding job and they don't have a long life. Exactly. So guess when you have physically demanding jobs, you retire earlier. If you live in a country with a good healthcare system, then maybe you retire later. And then it got me thinking. So let's talk about retirement here. Let's talk about age and retirement. And I looked for the top 5 places where people might want to retire. And so maybe you could tell me, where do you think that that people might want to retire? What can you tell me? I hope their health is better than other places till 70. I think it is. I think Denmark is really a very social country. They have a lot of social benefits. And yeah. I cried after this speech. Thanks. Oh, which speech? I hope when we talked, not when we talked. I hope that didn't make you cry. I hope, Gracie. Oh gosh. Yeah. So tell me some places where you think are the top picks for people to retire. You can tell me also some places that people might want to retire, why people might want to retire in a specific place. So a little bit location and why they would choose that location. Because I'm kind of always thinking of this, like if I'm going to retire, I have no money. After mine, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Please help, Gracie. I don't know. I hope you didn't cry after we talked. I hope that everything is okay. Because you did an amazing job, and I'm really, really so grateful. I would love to meet all of you. I'm so grateful that you had the courage to go live with me. It takes a lot of courage. I respect that immensely. Yuki's gone live with me before, Alessio, Gracie, and Natalia as well, many times as well. And I'm always so grateful to be able to put a face with the energy, with a spirit. Yes, it's wonderful. So mines, if people work in mines, maybe in bad weather in countries. Okay, so yeah, so maybe they look for countries with good weather. That might be something. Good health care, affordable living. So maybe a country that is cheaper than the country they live in currently. What are some other reasons why someone might retire somewhere else? And which countries? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries that are the top ranked countries for where people would like to retire. And they all sound pretty good to me, I have to say. I wouldn't say to no to any of them. I think like the most likely one or the most logical one within Europe would be Portugal. Portugal, the Antarctic, in Antarctic, they retire soon too. Okay, I have no idea. Hello, MM. Maybe where there's a good pension, exactly. Maybe a good pension. And welcome to you. I think that people choose some peaceful places. Yeah, maybe for safety. Right, exactly. Maybe their own country. Okay, so people choose Portugal because they praise the safety, excellent healthcare, pleasant climate, and English is spoken in the country, in the cities, that is. So it's easy to kind of adapt if you already speak English. And friendly residents, friendly residency and options for retirees. Portugal is one place. Then we have the next place. This one sounds kind of good to me. Panama. Okay. Great retiree benefits, good health care, affordable living, strong expat community. I guess this is more geared towards Americans, and often tops global retirement list, like the place to retire. I would like to go to Portugal. Yeah, Portugal's great. In Portugal, they don't have high taxes. The Canary Islands might be a great place to retire as well. I think a lot of people retire in the Canary Islands. In Thailand. So we're going a little bit more exotic, maybe a little bit more difficult. Thank you, Yuki. You read my mind. Thailand for the Japanese. Low cost of living, excellent and affordable private health care, warm climate, and established retiree visa options in some regions. So Panama is a fiscal paradise, right? I guess if you have money, it's just a safe haven for your money. Another one that's kind of cool is Costa Rica. Stable, beautiful, beautiful nature, good healthcare, and known for long-lived communities, the blue zones, popular for outdoorsy retirees. So for those of you who like the outdoors, maybe Costa Rica is the place for you. And yeah, so those were a couple of the ones. I got sidetracked, so sorry. I just thought, let's just plan our retirement. We can sort of think about these places that we would like to go to. And now we're going to move on to the classic point that women live longer than men. So let's talk about it. And let me try to find, oops, sorry, clicking on the wrong thing here. Why that might be, that's 1, that's 3. I think this is the one that we need. Again, my slides are out of Costa Rica's expensive. Okay, not for me then. I will not be, oops, sorry, going back. We need number 3 and not number 4. Let me see. We picked a different one. Hard to see here. Maybe it's this one. I hope this is 3. Let's see if this is number 3. Yes. Okay. So globally, women live longer than men by approximately how many years? Is it A, 2 to 3, B, 5 to 7, C, 10 to 12, or D, 15 to 20? What do you think? Women live on average how many years longer than men? That's one part of it. And the second part is, why do you think this is the case? Why do women typically live longer than men? So we have a lot of guesses coming in. We have some A's, B's, B you guess. So C from M11. We've got a B. Any other guesses that you might want to add? An A? All right. Let's see. Majority of people are guessing B. Between A and B, okay, Mohammed, that's very specific, and yet not. Lorena C, Natalia B and C. David's going with B. All right. So the answer is, big drum roll here, is actually, for those of you, which a lot of you, hello again. Hello, Hitoko, you're guessing C. Yuki's going with C. Maybe this is a Japanese thing, I don't know, but something tells me the answer is C. All right, C maybe. So for those of you who guessed B, you are correct. It's between 5 and 7 years on average. Maybe in Japan, it might be something different. I don't know. It could be a cultural thing. But what are some reasons that you think that women, hey, Carmen, B is correct. Absolutely. 5 to 7 years on average, women live longer than men. And what are some reasons that you think that there might be? We have biological factors. We have lifestyle factors. We have social and behavioral factors, and disease and health differences. So what kinds of factors can you say, why do women live longer? Typically. It's typically. So then men, what kind of factors do you think that there might be? What might play a role? I think one of them, it's kind of a logical thing, that men are more likely to work in high-risk environments like construction, military, and mining. So they take on more high-risk jobs, and maybe in general, they are more risky than women. So that can contribute to 5 to 7 years, maybe less of life, perhaps. Any other guesses? Otherwise, I will tell you a couple of things that I learned. All that you mentioned, biological, lifestyle, because the men are more stressed. Yeah, maybe men are not as in touch with their emotions, don't let things out maybe in a positive way. Maybe a biological factor is dominant, for example, hormone status. Exactly. So women have estrogen, and this might protect us. We have a higher, I don't know if men have estrogen. I think men have estrogen too, just as we have testosterone. But the level of estrogen that we have protects our heart and our immune system, while testosterone, the male hormone, is linked to riskier behavior and some health problems. Woman 87 in Japan and man 81 in Japan. So that falls within that 5 to 7 year thing. Genetic resilience, another one, super, super, super. We have more of a genetic resilience because of our hormones. Depends on the culture, maybe. Yeah, women drink less alcohol. Exactly, super point. Women tend to smoke less, drink less, and engage in fewer dangerous activities. It's because girls just want to have fun. Oh, Hitoko, you're so precious. So are women, older women. So that's so cute. Yeah, maybe it is that. We take things less seriously in a way, maybe. I have no idea. Let's see. Anything else? Women often have healthier diets and visit doctors regularly. That's a big thing. I think a lot of men, it's difficult for them to admit it's time to go to the doctor, whereas women are more likely to go to the doctor if something is wrong. That's a big factor. Yeah, I think that's really, really interesting. Okay, so that was that. And now we're moving to the country with the highest life expectancy. All right. So we moved from Sri Lanka, where the life expectancy is pretty low. And so they are able to retire pretty early. And now we're moving on. I think this is number 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and that must be 5. No, and we need 4. So here we go. I don't know if this is right or not. They live longer because of their children, maybe. For the younger generation, yay, I got it right. For the younger generation, women smoke and drink like or more than men. Okay. The same as or more than men. All right. Yeah, maybe that's a new thing. Maybe with vaping or something. Okay, so which country has the highest life expectancies in the world? Around, so this little squiggly line there is circa around 87 years. Are we talking about Japan, Monaco, Denmark, or Italy? I got a C of A is coming in. Generally speaking, women are more social. Women talk and smile with other people. I think this affects their lifetime as well. Totally. Very, very good point. So Renee's going Japan, then Italy. All right. A lot of A, sorry. A lot of people guessing A. Any other guesses? Otherwise, I will let you know the answer. I have to say, you're actually all wrong. Wrong. All right. So the answer is actually B, Monaco. All right. This blew my mind. Monaco. So yes, exactly, Michaela. B, Monaco. So other countries with a very high life expectancy are Hong Kong, of course, Japan, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, and Singapore. And so I looked to see the reason why. I know, right, Yuki? Totally crazy. So life expectancy in Monaco is very high because they have an extremely good healthcare system. It's a very wealthy country. People get taken care of very well. So their life expectancy is higher. I guess because many women turn their stress towards men. Alessio. Yes. So the answer is B, Monaco, which I thought was interesting. Countries with low life expectancy include Nigeria, Lesotho, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I need to look it up. Central African Republic, South Sudan, and Somalia. These are all countries with the lowest life expectancy because they're very rich, exactly. So they can take care of their inhabitants. Really, I always got post-Japanese, sorry. I always got post-Japanese got 100, that they live past 100 years. Yes, Japanese are up there for sure, but Monaco wins. Monaco, rich, money talks, exactly, Hatoko. I heard that there are 2 ages. Yeah, you pointed that out. I like that, Mohammed. Yeah, so in global life expectancy, what do you think that the life expectancy globally, what is the circa around how long do we live around the world? The world average, we have 87 as the highest in Monaco. Chad actually has the lowest. It's around 53 to 54 years old. What do you think the average life expectancy is as a little follow-up bonus trivia question? So, right, money talks, exactly. Move to Monaco, have life expectancy, probably. Okay, so here we go. We've got 83 years as the average. Natalia's saying circa 75. Okay, any other guesses for the average age? I don't know what I'm doing with my hair. I need to leave it alone. What else can we say? What means exactly phrases blow my mind? I frequently hear it in movies. So something that blows your mind, you can't believe it. It blows my mind. I cannot believe that Monaco wins over Japan or Denmark or Italy to be the country with the highest age of their population. So it blows my mind. You can't believe it. It shocks you in an extreme way. Okay, Renee's saying approximately 82, close to 80, the average in the world. Exactly, Lorena. What do you think is the average in the world for life expectancy? Carmen's going with 80. What else have we got? 75. Okay. So far we are like Yuki and I think it was and Luna and Natalia. Yeah, Yuki and Natalia are closest. So Lorena's going with 80. So the average is circa 73 years. So around 73 years is the average life expectancy around the world. And also to put this into perspective, life expectancy around the world has doubled in the last 100 years. And I'm guessing that's because of childhood infancy deaths, that it used to be a much higher number, but we have figured out how to take care of kids and so that they can reach adulthood. So maybe that has also helped with our life expectancy. Because we had something, I don't remember when it was, but we had a topic where it was like, we learned that life expectancy is actually like, people always think 100 years ago, people who were 45 were really, really old. But it seems like, 100 years ago, if you could make it to adulthood, you could actually have a long life. But it was really, really difficult to make it to the age 1, or then past 3, or then past 5. Like you had these milestones that you had to reach. And once you reached them, then you would get to that level. If you had a chance to live forever, what would you do with your life? Good question. I really would not want to live forever, I think. I hope to not live forever and to go to something new and different and other. I can't imagine being here forever. Mohammed, what would you do? What would you do with your life? I would continue doing this. If I lived forever, I would continue doing this. It brings me lots of joy to be here together with all of you. All right. Okay, so moving on. And let's see, let's find, the youth in our population. 1 second. Let me find number 5. And let's see if I'm going to get this right. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're all out of numbers, all out of whack here. So what is the approximate percentage of the world's population under 15 years old? So what is the approximate age of the world's population under 15? Is it 10%, 25%, 40%, or 50%? What can you tell me? It's raining cats and dogs here. I don't know if you saw, but on Ibiza, it's flooding like crazy. We've had like downtown in Ibiza, the streets are covered in water, and yeah, it's a bad scene here. Okay, so let's see, 25%. I don't want an endless life, right? I mean, yeah, I think the older you get, the more you're like, okay, it's okay if one day it ends. Like when you're young, you don't want life to end ever. And then the older you get, you're like, it's okay. Sometimes, everything has to come to an end. All right, we have a lot of B's, 25%. So Alex is saying C, and Natalia's going with B. Leah's going with B. Dear, nice to have you here. I didn't say hi to you, I think, earlier. 25% for Ranit, and Michaela's going with 25%. So for those of you who guessed 25%, you are totally correct. So about 25% of the world's population is under 15. Which country do you think has the highest number, or no, let's say which continent has the highest number of under 15-year-olds? Which continent would you say? So now let's go specific, and you can give me the top 3 if you like. Of 25% that are under 15. So ding, ding, ding. Absolutely. Lorena's number 1, Africa, number 2, Asia. And you don't need a "the" in front of Asia. We just say Asia, Africa. Yeah. So good mistake there. Thank you, Alex. Africa's number 1. They have 40% of the population on Africa is under 15. That's wild, right? They have such a young population. Asia is 23%, and Latin America and the Caribbean are at 23% as well. So is Oceania. And coming in last is 16%, Europe, North America, 18%. Lower than 15% in Japan. Right. Yeah. So Japan's not an actual reflection of what's going on there in Asia. All right. So let's move on. Do I have anything else? Yes. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave that there because it had another one of these, like, things that I think about. Where in Europe is Kosovo? Kosovo. But that's like the former, okay, hold on. No, I don't know. Help me out, please. I am sure Africa. So Kosovo, hold on. Isn't that part of the former Yugoslavia? Kosovo, help me out. Do you mean numbers wise, or what do you mean by Kosovo? Kosovo average number of people under 15 years old. I think that's your question. Please help me. Kosovo is part of Serbia, okay, which was part of former Yugoslavia. But let's find the percentage. Okay. Ooh, Renate, interesting point. As of 2023, about 23.1% of Kosovo's population is between 0 and 14. So we have outliers in this, like Japan is obviously a country where the population is getting older, not younger, and Kosovo is younger, not older. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out, and I feel slightly silly, but that is what it is. All right, so moving on to the world's oldest population. Here we go. And let's see. Oops, I don't know why I'm clicking here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. I think that's at 7 though. Let's see if this is correct. No, yes, perfect. All right, so here we go. Which country has the oldest populations in the world with circa 30% over 65? Is it Sweden, Brazil, Germany, or Japan? So which country has the world's oldest population with around 30% of the population being over the age of 65? So Natalia is saying C, Germany. I would totally guess Germany too. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome on board. You're saying Japan. What else can you tell me? Leah says D, Japan. Yuki says Japan. Lorena says Japan. Alex is going with Sweden. Any other guesses? All right, so the answer is actually D, Japan. 30% of the population in Japan is over the age of 65. And I wanted to check actually Germany, because since I've been in Germany since 1996 or 95, I think 95. The population has been going down. It has been decreasing since I've lived here, and that has not changed. So the population in Germany aged 65 and above is 22.8%. And in Sweden, it's 20.54% of the population as of 2023 is 65. Alessio, you're right. It's Japan. So many seniors in my community too. All right. Today I chose just wrong answers. I would not, no worries. It's all about learning and having fun. No stress whatsoever. Yeah, so it's actually Japan with 30% over 65. And Yuki and Hitoko, what is that like because of economic recession? And Yuki, I also remember you telling me that it is so expensive to have a child in Japan that many couples elect to not have children because it's just too expensive to have children. So I guess that's also a factor with the increasing age of the average population. All right, moving on, and if you want to look up what it is in your country, feel free to do so and share. But now we're talking about people who live past the age of 100. So let's see. Let me grab our next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I hope this is correct. I don't like it when things are out of order. It makes things complicated. Okay, here we go. Yay, I got lucky. So as of late 2025, approximately how many validated supercentenarians, people aged 110 or older, are alive worldwide? And someone in our audience said that someone in their family, I think, is 108 or lived to be 108 or 109. So let me know if that was you. Maybe it is also because of their diet, rich in longevity. Yes, so people live older, but it's also they have fewer younger people in Japan. So what can you tell me? As of 2025, approximately how many validated? In this case, validated is like, this is official. They have been officially certified to be supercentenarians. Our answers are coming in. 197, D maybe 397, B from, I think, Kaluna that was, A, Lorena. Oh, let me see. Hold on. And Yuki has a nice message for us. B, more women having a job. Okay, could also, okay, that makes sense. Just the same as men doing household, no time nor energy to have kids and raise kids. So all of these are factors why the population in Japan is getting older, it seems. All right, A and 197. Okay, so you folks that guessed B, 197, you are correct. So imagine in our world with billions and billions of people that there are only 197 people as of 2025 that are 110 or older. I find that so surprising. I would have thought that the number would be higher. I'm very surprised. And so this, a little extra bonus question here. So Maria Branyas, I guess, Morera, passed away in 2024 at the age of 117. She was the oldest person on record at the time, and they have been studying her genes and her habits to try to figure out how she could live so long. And there's one thing that she ate every single day, 3 times a day. What do you think that she ate 3 times a day that might, we don't know 100%, but might have led to her longevity, to her living a long time? What did Maria eat that maybe led to her longevity? She ate this 3 times a day. There are other factors because of genetic factors, environmental factors, lifestyle, mental state, and so on, for sure. Hitoko, in Japan, I heard about 98,000 people over 100 in Japan as of today. Yes, that could very well be. Maybe let's look up the country and see who has the most centenarians. But supercentenarians, it seems there are only 197. So we have eggs as a guess, fish as a guess, vegetables as a guess. I wanted to say whiskey. 3 little sips of whiskey a day, 170. It's not that. Nobody has guessed it so far, but I'm going to look up and see how many centenarians, which country has the most centenarians, not supercentenarians. So which country has the most centenarians? Let's see what it says. Vegetables, fish, eggs. Any other guesses what she might have eaten? I butchered the word centenarian, so let's see if ChatGPT can read it. Okay. So, So the country with the most centenarians today is Japan, with 99,000. Okay, yes, wait, you just had that. Okay. So you are also the country with the most centenarians in the world as of, yes, as of 2025, the highest rate per capita, the percentage of the population. So high number, high centenarians, but not super centenarians. So, or maybe super, we see with super centenarians. So collagen is a good guess. Just to give you a hint, Natalia's going with meat. So goji berries, another good guess. Just to give you a little bit of a hint, it is an animal product, not meat. Animal product, not eggs, not meat, animal product. Okay, just to give you a little bit more of a hint. So country with the most super centenarians. Again, I've killed that word. Milk, going in the right direction, not collagen. Most of them are in Japan or Sardinia. Okay. Milk, not milk, but in the right direction. We're not talking about meat. We're talking about a product made from an animal. So also the currently alive super centenarians is Japan. Let's see how many of ours. Cheese, yogurt. Yes, M11, it's yogurt. So Maria ate yogurt 3 times a day. And why is that not working? How many? Here we go. So yeah, goat milk. So it was a yogurt that she ate 3 times a day, and they think that that helped the microdiversity, bacteria, good bacteria, whatever, in her stomach and her intestines. And so they think that maybe eating yogurt, although if you're lactose intolerant like I am, maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. Maybe lactose-free yogurt or something like that. So, okay, this counters my thing here, where it says 269 verified super centenarians in Japan, but that's not the right answer with our answer with 197. I will look it up. We'll figure this out. We'll get to the bottom of this, and maybe I'll make it a little story, a quiz and a story on Instagram. So that makes Bulgarian lives longer because they eat a lot of yogurt. Maybe. Live bacteria for digestion. Exactly. Hi, Miranda. Okay, thank you, Miranda. Yes, my Georgian friend. Okay, thank you. Miranda. Exactly. Thank you. Didn't recognize the name. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so let's move on. And moving on to where are we going? Where are we headed? We are headed to first-time moms, the average age of first-time moms. And let's see what we've got. And I think that that's going to be, this is 10, this is 9, this is 8. Working backwards here. Let's see. All right, so in many developed countries, the average age of first-time moms is now A, under 25, B, around 27, C, over 30, or D, over 35. So what do you think? And you can also add, if you know this, no worries if you don't, the average age of first-time moms in your country. Alex is going with 30. Leah's got under 25. We have Renate over 30. Let's see. Lorena C as well, over 30. What do we think? Yuki's saying C as well, over 30. Everyone's going to C. B or C, Miranda. Okay, maybe as we're getting older now, maybe makes sense. Jeremy's going with 30. Michaela's going with around 27. So yeah, C, Natalia, over 30. I think I said that already. Okay, so the answer is over 30 is the average age for first-time moms in developed countries. And what do you think are the pros and the cons of this? Like, what are the good things and what are the bad things of having older moms. I mean, obviously this is not old. This is a perfectly normal age, but it used to be that people had children much, much earlier in life. And what are the pros and cons of having a child a little bit later in life? What can you tell me? The good things, the bad things. And if you know the average age in your country, you can let me know. The answer is C, over 30. Yeah. So what can you tell me? I think having children later, maybe you've done more in life, so you have a little bit more of an understanding of yourself. Like Gracie said, being able to know who you are, maybe you have that. Yuki, having enough money, but don't have enough energy, right? Yeah, super good. Thank you for putting the positive and the negative. So having enough money, but not having as much energy or having enough energy. Difficulties in giving birth could be a con for sure. They are more mature, financially stable, younger, healthier, later wiser. Yeah, hopefully. You've lived your life a little bit, so it's easier to kind of sacrifice your time and that kind of thing. I think so. All right. I think those are good positive and negatives. If anybody else would like to add one, you're absolutely more than welcome to do that. I love hearing what you have to say. And otherwise, we will move to number 9. And they want to achieve some other goals first in other fields. Yes. An old man knows more about an old mom. Sorry, an old man. I read an old mom knows more about children. Principal, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We're moving on to the blue zone, which was already mentioned earlier. So this is going to be for those of you who did not get anything right so far. This might be your moment. Enjoy. My pleasure to offer this to you. So as for me, okay, so that was a situation for you. But understanding each other gets worse maybe as a child of a bit older parents. Yeah, that could be, right? Maybe there's more of an age gap between the parents and the children. And then, yeah, you have a generational gap. Pregnancy, risks, wisdom, generational gap, positives and negatives. Thanks, guys, for sharing. All right, what is a blue zone? So for those of you who've not gotten anything right yet, this is your chance. A type of retirement home. B, an area where people live longer than average. C, a region with no elderly people. Or D, a color-coded, an area with a lot of elderly women with blue hair. So Renee's saying B. The later you can come across some difficulties as you are wise, younger, you have more energy. And I think also an argument for having kids younger is that when you're younger, you don't know as much. And so you're less freaked out by different things. I think like the older you get and then you have kids, the more you know. And sometimes that's not a good thing because then you see all of the risks, you see all of the dangers. So I think, positive, negative on the older, younger thing. All right, so I have answers coming in, B, C, 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 B. So the answer is actually what is a blue zone? It is B, an area where people live longer than average. So this is an area where people tend to live longer. And someone mentioned, I cannot remember who, my apologies. There's a Netflix documentary. I think that it's called The Blue Zone. Let me take a look and see what it's called. And it's really interesting. That shows where people, maybe it's called The Blue. Let me look. But it deals with what people can do to age better, to become older. The Blue Zone documentary, I think it's called that. It was out maybe like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And yeah, the blue zones. Yes. So what is live to 100? So secrets of, let me see. I'm trying to find the name. The blue zones. Exactly. It comes from what? Okay, so in the documentary, the documentarist, the dude who made the documentary, he got a map And he took a look at it and he circled the areas where people lived to 100 and longer. And it ended up being like there were certain pockets, there were certain areas, and he had a blue pen and he wrote around it. He drew around these areas. So he ended up calling these the blue zones because of that. So that's what I remember as being the meaning. Whoever has seen this documentary, please correct me if I am wrong, but it was these areas. They were in Japan, they were in Italy, and I can't remember where else. There was a place, I think, in the United States, and several different areas. And so he went to these areas, these blue zones, and looked at the people, investigated what it was that were the reasons that they lived longer, looked at their diets, looked at their exercise, looked at their communities, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I got it. Thanks. Oh, yeah, no problem. My pleasure. The blue zone because researchers mapped those areas exactly with a blue pen. Exactly. Okay, so I remembered correctly. It's a really interesting documentary. It's a series. And so it's interesting to travel to these different places and to see the reasons why people happened to live longer. So if you used a yellow pen, it would have been named, yes, the yellow zone, or a red pen, the red zone. Exactly. Kind of clever though, I think. It sounds very interesting somehow. More interesting than the actual answer in a way, somehow. All right, so let's see. Let's move on to our last question of the day. And then I'm gonna go with Peter and have some dinner. I hope that, that everything's okay where we're headed to. Like I said, it's been raining horribly for the past 24 hours. And if you look online, you'll see there are parts of Ibiza town. What am I doing? That are underwater. Why am I not able to add a slide? So add to stage, remove from stage, and what am I doing? I'm having like a total brain fog here. So remove from studio, ta-da, and there we go. And now I can grab number 10. Here we go. All right. So I am obviously not a very good multitasker. So here we go. Last question of the day. Which U.S. state proposed a bill? So that doesn't mean that the bill went through, but they suggested it. Propose. When a man asks a woman to marry him, he proposes. He asks her. So you propose something. So which U.S. state proposed a bill that would phase out smoking entirely by eventually making the minimum age 100? Was it California, Hawaii, New York, or Florida? It has to be an American state, right? Has to be an American state. So which state do you think that it was? This was kind of a funny thing where they proposed this bill that every year the age for smoking would increase. So it would be like, it starts out with at 18, then the next year it would be 19, the next year 20, 21, until the average age reached 100 and it was illegal to smoke. They tried to phase it out to slowly make sure that slowly get it so that people stopped smoking. California is a super guess, Renee. It's a very logical guess. They're usually at the forefront. They're the leaders for these kinds of legislation. This didn't go through, but it was suggested. So Alex says D. Lorena says A, reduce smoking. Exactly, to phase it out in a slow way to reduce it. Miranda's got A or B, California or Hawaii. Okay. Yuki says D, Florida. And the answer is in Hawaii, actually. So they tried to pass this in Hawaii, or they suggested it. It didn't go through. Exactly, Jeremy. Hawaii is the correct answer. And yeah, so they were not able to get it through, but it was suggested. What do you think about that? What do you think if your country were to do that, where they were to say that they would increase the age of something every year, so eventually it would make it impossible for something to be done? I don't know. I think on the one hand, I think great, it's interesting. And on the other hand, I think, what's to stop them for other things, from chewing gum or from, eating sugar or all of these kinds of things? I think at some point in a free country, you have to have some sort of autonomy to be able to make these decisions. But I do think it's definitely interesting. Nice try. So, yeah. So, folks, I really appreciate you hanging out with me now for 2 hours and 37 minutes. It's been a very, very long lesson, 2 lessons in English today. I appreciate you being here and for all of your participation. Again, Gracie, thank you so much for joining me. If any of you ever want to join me, I would love that. I would love to be able to put a face to your names. I really appreciate our community. We're small, but we're really close and really together. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And I hope to see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. I think that we'll start with different generations, with boomers and Gen X and all of that. We wanted to do that today, but didn't get to it. So appreciate it. Thank you, Lorena. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day. My stomach is growling, and I'm going to go and eat something. Take care, Miranda. I have to drop off, unfortunately. Thank you, Jen. Very interesting lesson. Take care, take care, take care. Hope to see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.